In this tutorial, we're going to be instantiating an FLVPlayback component using ActionScript. That is, we're going to be creating an instance of the component on the stage using ActionScript. And this is a two-step procedure. First, you drag an FLVPlayback component into the library, and then you write the ActionScript in the Actions panel. So here we are ready for that first step. Just in the Components panel, drag that component into the library, and there it is. If you happen to drag it onto the stage, just delete the instance on the stage. We don't want an instance on the stage, only in the library. So here we have an empty stage, an empty timeline, nothing in the Actions panel. So now I'm just going to cut and paste the code that I need into the Actions panel. That's all that it requires, 8 lines. So let's just test this. Control Enter. So you can see that that does exactly the same thing that we've done previously using the component inspector. So how can that be so easy? How can we get so much power with such a little bit of code? And this is the key right here. This is importing a class, the FLVPlayback class. And a class is basically a container for all the capabilities of a particular object, in this case the FLVPlayback object. It's a group of functions called methods, variables called properties, messages called events. And it's embodied in a file with the extension .as. So here we have a lot of files with the extension .as. Each one of these is a class. And if we go down, here's our FLVPlayback class. So this file contains all the capabilities needed to create an FLVPlayback component. And that's why we can do all these things, and it's so powerful in such a little bit of code, because that file contains all the capabilities and knows what to do. So for example, this line creates the new FLVPlayback component. There may be a lot of code in that .as file to do that, but we can do it in this one line. And it gives it, by the way, this name, FLVPB. That's our local instance name for the FLVPlayback component. And then each one of these uses a property, the skin background color property, the source property, and X and Y. And then add child. And by the way, if you need to know something about a class, here we have our video package, classes for package video. This is the package here. And just go down, FLVPlayback, and here you have all the events, all the methods, and all the properties for that class. When you're typing your code, by the way, if you make a mistake, you will be warned about it. So let's try testing here. It didn't come up, and it says incorrect number of arguments on line 9. Then we go back to the actions frame, and we put in that argument and try again. And now it works. And that concludes this tutorial on instantiating an FLVPlayback component using ActionScript.